So we do get a little overwhelmed with marketing because there's just so many options. But today's guest is going to share really two important options that I really think you should really reconsider. So let's find out what those two are. Hey, Giants, welcome to our new episode. Today's guest is Kuhn, and some special things you'll want to know about her is that she teaches business owners how to stop break even and get a profit so you can have a lifestyle you want. And she's a speaker and she's a business strategist and she's a dog lover. Yay! So, Jean, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and more detail of what you do?
Sure. A little bit about me is I became an entrepreneur, excuse me, on April 29th, 1985 at 8:52 p.m.
Oh my
And
gosh, you even know the time.
I know the time because it was the time that the nurse gave me that first baby in my arms, and
Oh,
I knew I was not going back to a job I hated. So I was going to figure out that whole entrepreneurial thing. We'll be retired by the time we're 30 and live a happy, wealthy life. And it didn't work out that way.
heavy sigh.
It didn't work out that way, right? So there was a few things I needed to learn. I was like 26 years old when that happened, right when he was born, and there was a few things I needed to learn about business that I didn't know. So I spent the next 25-ish years being a business owner in a lot of different capacities until I learned everything that as much as I needed to know to able to start a profitable business and um, carry that through. And then I started I bought a couple bankrupt businesses. I turned those around within 12 months, adding $100,000 to the bottom line. And then I started helping those were franchises. I started helping my fellow franchisees turn around their businesses as well.
Oh, wow, that's
So
pretty
that's what I
exciting.
do now. That's what I do now. I help businesses turn around their businesses, increase their revenue fast so that they can live a lifestyle that they would love.
So is there like a common area that local businesses kind of like get stuck in?
I don't think it's local businesses. I
Okay.
think it is small solopreneur, home-based businesses.
Mhm.
They seem to struggle the most. And I think part of it is, a long time ago, I had a accountability partner who, like right when COVID started, they sold their house and they moved into an RV and were traveling the lands, right? And her business started tanking. And it was because she felt like she was on vacation all the time and wasn't putting in the hours you would if you were working at home, right? Or that she usually worked at home. I think that's probably part of the problem is when you work at home. I've been doing it for so long that the dishes in the sink don't bother me. The piled up laundry doesn't bother me. What bothers me is if I don't get my revenue generating activities done every day. And I think that's the piece that really bothers people who used to have a job and then they came home and haven't gone back. It's like they feel like it's a day off and they do a little bit of work, but not enough to actually get the revenue flowing.
Yeah, I think that I'm a little bit on the other end that I don't realize, oh, it's 6 o'clock. It's time to it's time to stop working. I think that I'm on the other end in that I have my husband who reminds me that, okay, you've done your number of hours today. You need to turn it off.
Well, I start at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm literally looking at the clock going, is it 4 o'clock? Because I really would like to be done now. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is some advice that you would give to a small business to like, well, let's talk about your franchise people. Is there
Sure.
a difference between like those who own franchise and those who own just a small business as far as the way they treat the business?
You would think so, and there is to a certain extent, right? A franchise owner is literally handed a manual with the operating procedures in the book, right?
Mhm.
Most of them don't get the marketing training that they need. They might get some social media marketing, and that's mostly if the franchise. I'm thinking about the franchise I own. If the franchise owner did not know how to market a business. But for the most part, they struggle too. They struggle with doing, most of the people who buy a franchise will be coming out of a job and they've got retirement savings or something they're going to invest and buy themselves a job so that they can keep bringing in money. But they have the same problems that small business owners have, is that unless somebody's given them a really good plan to market and they have time to implement that,
Hmm.
or are they working their franchise and they don't have the time? Did they buy themselves a job or did they buy themselves a business?
Yeah.
Most buy themselves a job. And then they don't have the time. They don't take the time for the income producing activities, for the marketing, for the connection with their community. It's just, I mean, I have been seeing this for, I've been an entrepreneur almost for next month, it'll be 41 years. I've been seeing this for 41 years.
Wow, you'd think that something would change in that period of time, but
You
yeah,
would think,
yeah.
yeah. What changed? Do you remember what two big things changed over the last 41 years? Social media
Hmm.
became a thing, right? And then COVID,
Oh, yeah.
right? Those are
Two big
two
things.
two
Yeah,
big things for
yeah,
business owners. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what are some like marketing steps that people, business owners are missing out on? Is it online marketing? Is it just connecting with their community?
If you ever see me write, speak, or think about growing your business with social media, that is not me. That is a deep fake gene. Okay. I don't talk about growing your business through social media. I talk about growing your business through meeting people, through speaking. And you can speak virtually. That's the not social media.
Mm-hmm.
You can grow, you can speak virtually, but I also think you should be speaking in your local community. The thing that I find the funniest and the most fascinating is that after COVID, when we were all Zooming, and it's like, oh my God, I can do business with anybody in the entire world. And it's like, you haven't done business with everybody in your entire town yet, right? Why are you so gangbusters on doing business in Geneva if you can't do business in Austin,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I just find that fascinating that people are like, they feel it should be easier. It's not. It's not.
All right, let's say that I'm a home service business. I'm a plumber.
You're a
What,
plumber. Okay.
okay, I'm a plumber. What are some tips that I can do to get out in my community?
One of the things you can do is go to a, if I were a plumber, the first thing I would do is I would go to a BNI group. I would join a BNI group and I would be looking for leads there because people know people, everybody has a need for a plumber. Second thing is I would call a plumber, and if they don't answer, I would call the next one. And if they don't answer, I would call the next one. And if they don't answer, I would call the next one. I have been using the same plumber for over 25 years because he answered the phone when I had three little kids at home and my husband was out of the country,
Yeah,
right? And he answered the
that's a
phone and he
big
has
deal.
big deal. And he came, even though he was exhausted, I could tell when he got here, 6 p.m. He saw I didn't have a hot water heater that was working. He went, he got me one, he installed it. So, because he knew that I had three little kids and I needed hot water.
Hmm.
So that man, what the heck was his last name? Can't remember. I can't remember Mark's last name. I have it in my phone. I just have him under plumber. His
Yeah.
Mark, right?
Yeah.
He's been the only person I have called in the last 25 years.
Yeah. And that makes a big difference as far as like answering the phone
Yeah.
and understanding.
Yes. That, let's talk about that for just a minute.
Okay.
Answering the phone. How many people they're like, feel like, nope, right? They don't know who it is. And they just put their phone down, right? They won't even answer it. They're like, if it's important, they'll leave a message. No, I won't leave a message. I will go find somebody who's willing to answer their phone. And that man has had thousands and thousands of dollars worth of work because he answered his phone from me. Imagine if he's doing that, which I would assume with everyone,
Hmm.
right? He's very, very, it's really funny. He's very, very busy now. Right?
Because he answers the
He
phone.
answers
You
his
know, that
phone.
is a really big thing because I mean, part of my business is the fact that you can use AI to answer your phone because there's a lot of people who have maybe they don't afford can't afford a receptionist or whatever. And so you can use an AI source to answer the phone. It sounds like a real person. It can be taught to answer questions and it can be taught to how to schedule appointments. Or if it's an emergency, it can text you and say, you need to call this person now. And so there is no excuse to not answer your phone now, or at least have the person who's calling you reach a voice that can create create or start the conversation there. And like you
For
said,
me,
you would continue calling people until somebody answered the phone because it's important to
100%.
you.
That to me is just the same thing as of not answering your phone. When you have AI to answer your phone, it's still not you. You're not connecting with them. If I got a call right now, Lois, what I would do is I have a button that I've created. I would just push two buttons. One that says, can I call you right back? I'm on the phone. Or I'll call you right back when I'm off the phone. But I have to hit the first button to get me to that prompt, right? And when I'm on a call with my clients and their phone rings, they
Oh.
literally like, should I answer it? I'm going to sit here and wait for you because you don't know who that is,
Yeah.
right? You don't know if that's somebody who's delivering you bad news or a political ad or they want to do business with you.
Hmm.
So answer your damn phones. Yeah, that's a biggie for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So,
What would you say is there a second biggie for you?
oh my God, Mark, I love marketing so much. I can hardly stand it. Yeah, right. You need to be marketing your business. You need to be out there talking about the problems that you solve for your customers, right? So
Mhm.
if you're going to talk about the problems you solve for them, you better know what they need, right? So do you know exactly who your avatar is? Do you know exactly what they need? Do you know what they go up to bed, to go to sleep at night thinking about, right? When you can answer that question, what keeps them up in the middle of the night,
Mhm.
and you can solve that problem for them, there's no reason for them to ever go anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's about knowing what your ideal client needs and how can you give it to them and give it to them in a manner that they feel served, they feel connected, and um, they feel a sense of relief,
Hmm.
right? When you can do that for them. So
So
yeah.
how would you suggest that that information get out to the people that you're answering their questions, you understand their problems? What sources do you suggest in getting that information out?
Uh, First of all, what do you remind me what you do, Lois?
I'm online visibility expert,
Uh,
so I help people be online when people are searching for them.
Okay. So for I think now ask me the question again because I've been up since 4:30.
That's
Ask me
okay.
the
It's
question one
okay.
more time.
Not a problem. So you said it's important to understand your avatar and answer their questions. How do you present getting it out there as far as I understand your problem, here's the answer.
Yeah, so I use email marketing. Do you
Okay.
use email marketing?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, okay, good because you say definitely like everybody does, but they
Well, no,
don't,
I know. Yeah, no,
right?
I know. Yeah, it's actually a battle with my own clients as far as like getting them to understand that it needs to happen.
And it's a way of being seen, even
Hmm.
if it's at least you're being seen in their inbox, right?
Right.
But my real main way of being seen for me is out there speaking. I
Okay.
go out and I speak to, again, I don't need to go. I am going in September to Atlanta to speak to a women's group, but I don't need to go to Atlanta every day, right? I don't need to go to all over. I literally can go two towns over. I'm pretty much on the state line of, I'm about an hour from the Indiana state line
Mhm.
into Illinois. I can literally go across the state and I'm someplace else and I'm just an hour from home, right? It's like, how far can I go in that Chicagoland circle is pretty far. And there's a lot of businesses in that 1 hour radius and the lake takes up half of it,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, getting out speaking is probably the thing I like best, right? Is getting out there and speaking, telling stories. I tell a lot of stories about how I turned around two bankrupt businesses that I bought and added $100,000 to their bottom line. So, because if I can do that, all of those strategies that I used, every single person could use those in their business today.
Hmm.
That was 24 years ago, right? When I bought that first bankrupt business. But right now, today, these are still viable options. Email marketing is one. Email marketing wasn't even around when I bought that business. When I bought that business, I turned them both around within 12 months of buying them. I had no list, no website, and no marketing money,
Hmm.
right? I
Hmm.
had to get really creative with what I was doing. And it was all about figuring out how I can get people into my store and then make them love me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So what does the first meeting look like with you?
The first what?
A first meeting, like if somebody were to reach out to you and say, hey, I'd like to learn more about how you can help me. What would that look like?
It looks like a free consultation. I'm going to want to know what their biggest problem is, and then I would tell them how I would solve that for them.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So, all right, we talked about email marketing, but let's expand on that because I think that, like I said, I have a hard time getting my clients to do it.
Mhm.
Give me some more details on email marketing because I get a lot of emails.
Okay. Well, I think that that's the reason people don't want to do it. They don't want to be in everybody else's inbox because they don't like it that theirs is so full. I don't love it either. And have you ever gone that, Lois, have you ever done that thing where you're like unsubscribing because you're like, oh, I can't take anymore?
Yeah.
So one day I'm sitting at my desk here and I decided I am unsubscribing. Up pops an email from a woman named Kim Ward. And the subject line was, and I was on her list. I'd never met her. I was just on her list. I'm just going to unsubscribe. But the subject line that popped up when I was going to unsubscribe was, well, slap my ass and call me Sally. And I thought, that is the best damn email subject line I have ever seen. So of course I open it. Like, what the heck? What's inside there? She was offering a Instagram class. So this is 4 or 5 years ago, right? She's offering an Instagram class, and I missed the date. It ended yesterday, right? And I don't know how to use Instagram, right? I have somebody who does my social media for me. So I'm like, I send her an email right away, and it says, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I missed this. Is there any chance I can still get in?" Send it off on its way. I go back to my work, whatever it is. I don't hear from her for 5, 6 days. I've forgotten about it at this point, right? And
Yeah.
she reaches out and she says, yes, you can, blah, blah. She tells me how to do it. And I don't respond because I've moved on,
Yeah.
right? If I don't join Instagram the moment I need to, then I'm not joining, right?
Right.
So I moved on. I didn't reply. And then I don't know, it's been a week or so, 2 weeks later, and I see her Facebook message because we're Facebook friends, but we've never met, never talked.
Hmm.
And she's talking about this woman. She's like, about like, why do people um, ask you for something? And I said in there, because I thought it was like, listen, I like to laugh, right? So I write her a kind of a funny, I think, letter in there. And it's like, hey, Kim, I was just getting ready to unsubscribe. And I saw that great subject line. I didn't unsubscribe. So she says in her letter, she goes, I just had a letter from somebody who said she was unsubscribing from me. And then she wanted to be in this and she didn't answer me. She's ghosted me now. She goes, that bitch. And that's where I stopped reading, right? I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was me, right? And so I let it go, right? Because I did ghost her. I mean, she's right. I had moved on. She didn't get back to me fast enough. I
Right.
moved on. And she probably had a really big turnout that
Response.
she was helping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like almost a year later. We both have the same coach. And she reaches out and she says, hey, Jean Kuhn, let's talk. She goes, I think we could collaborate on something. I'm like, okay, I think we probably could. And when she gets on the phone after we finished our talk, and I said, hey, there's just one more thing I want to talk about, right? I just want you to know I'm that bitch. And she said, what do you mean? You're not a bitch. And I said, no, I'm not. But that's what you called me in your Facebook message when you called me out. And we both laughed about it. I apologized because I thought I was being funny. She apologized because she wasn't being funny. She was being truthful. And it was just like goes on. But that subject line, there's five things you should know. That subject line is number one.
Mhm.
That subject line needs to get somebody to go, what the heck is she talking about or he talking about? I need to open this up because I will tell you, every time I read an email, I want to use that subject line. Well, slap my ass and call me Sally, but I never can because I've told the story so many times. So number number two is something personal. You need to insert something personal. Just because we're business owners doesn't mean we have to give up our authentic self, right? When I owned those chocolate stores, how I got so many people to read my newsletter is I would put stuff in there about my employees, like meet so and so. She'll be here, she can help you. Or my daughter worked from the time she was 12 years old in those chocolate stores. When she graduated college as a nurse, I put her picture in there. And I had a woman from Tennessee reach out to me and she says, thank you for sharing the picture of your daughter. And she was graduated with a nursing degree
Mhm.
and BS in nursing. And she said, my daughter is taking what do you call it? A pause right now because she just
Okay.
gave birth to twin babies.
Oh, okay.
So she said, but she felt that connection with me as a mom, not as a business owner, not as anything else, but as a woman who loves her daughter so much, right? That I'm gonna put her picture in there. So that's another way. I'm always looking how you can connect with people. There's so many different ways, right? And
Mhm.
and Lois, I think I told you when we talked before, it's like if you show me a picture of a puppy, right? You and I are best friends forever, whether you want to be or not, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to be able to connect with them. So it's over pets, it's over kids, it's over movies, fine dining, wine, whatever it is. Find that way to connect with them in your newsletter.
Yeah.
Um, the third one is some education,
Mm.
right? Education. Educate them about your product. Educate them about the solution that you provide for the problems that they have, right? I knew what my problems were in those chocolate stores. They wanted chocolate, right? I was so successful with that promotion that the franchise came back and gave every single franchisee a constant contact account.
Oh.
And I would not take theirs. I would not take it because I knew what it would be. They wanted to write the emails and they
Oh.
wanted to write what they wanted to write, right? And it's all about buy my chocolate, buy my chocolate, buy my chocolate. And mine was not about that. It was about what's going on in town, what's going on in the store, what's going around at the village hall, whatever it was. So,
Mhm.
um, and I'll get to these other 2 points really quick here. The second one is something else. Just that's for something else, right? Whatever that is. Look something up. Put a statistic in there. Put something in there that they can use, right? And then the last one is a call to action. You always need a call to action in your email newsletter, right? Of what that next step is you want them to take. So
Oh,
that's
great.
what I think is, yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, I love writing them newsletter. I listen, I shouldn't spend my time doing that. I should spend my time on income producing activities. I will not give up writing my newsletter because I enjoy it so much.
Well, that is an income producing
It
project.
is.
So yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how often do you send out any newsletter?
It depends on if I'm promoting something. If I'm promoting something, I'll send one out much more often. Right now, I'm trying to get two in a week. And I'm struggling to do that because I'm writing a book right now and I really want to finish that.
Oh yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Oh, well, great. You said you have a free gift for our listeners.
I do. And that free gift is if you type in jeansfreegift.com, JEANS freegift.com, it'll take you right there. And it is the 5 no-cost marketing strategies that will make your business more appealing. And it is those exact same 5 marketing strategies I used to turn around those 2 bankrupt businesses.
All right, so I'll make sure all those links and any other links that you shared with me are below. So we'll
Okay,
take
great.
care of that.
Thanks.
Well,
Yeah.
any closing thoughts?
Um, yeah, I'll share something with you. The one thing I like to share is that something I learned from Zig Ziglar 20 some years ago. No, I'm sorry, 40 some years ago, 35, 30, let's say 35 years ago. He said to me in a room, I'm sure there are other people heard it, right? It was probably meant for all of us, but I took it personally, that you can have everything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. And I have lived that lifestyle for the last 35 years. So that one hit me hard. Yeah.
That makes a
And it's
difference.
true. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Jean, thank you so much for the great advice and just for sharing your stories and just being inspiring. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Jess, I do want to share with you that my company, JFT Web Marketing, does take over a lot of the online marketing that may be overwhelming to you. So if that's something I can help you with, I'll have that link below. All right, Janice, we'll see you next time.